Hello, cosmonauts. Today, we are going to be exploring what Reddit asks. What's the craziest dare you did or seen someone do in a game of truth or dare? Let's discover it. Answer 1. One of the kids I went to school with was dared to drink a can of used oil in shop class. No one thought he actually would. He was both hospitalized and kicked out of the tech school at the end of his junior year of high school. His senior year, he had to make up all of the credits he was otherwise excused from because he did not complete 3 full years of his program at said tech school. To his credit, he did actually graduate on time. Answer 2. This one is a bit harrowing, but when I was around 14 or so, I was hanging out with these other kids and we were playing truth or dare at their house. One of the kids dared another kid to go to his brother's room and get his heroin and snort a tiny bit of it. He said no, but he kept on pushing him, saying it was fine and that just a little bit is safe, and then the kid finally agreed. He did it, said it felt amazing, and then the 2 other kids asked to try and they both did it. Me and my friend were just sort of sitting there like this the whole time. If that had appeared on a DARE commercial, we would laugh about how stupid it was. I have no clue what happened with them. We never saw them ever again. Answer 3. Drunk truth or dare Jenga? In college, girl pulled a piece that the dare was prank call your parents. It was like 3 a.m. and she called them and only repeated the phrase peace in the Middle East over and over until they hung up. But then they showed up at the dorms the next day to take her home thinking she was either on drugs or had snapped. Small town, super religious family, so I was drunk and it was funny, wasn't flying with them. Answer 4. 17-year-old me in high school. Yes, this was in Florida. My friend, let's call him Dan, decided he was going to be a professional stuntman in the future. Dan insisted he knew the proper technique to be hit by a car and take 0 damage. He knew I had a beater truck, so the chance of any damage to the vehicle was minimal. Long story short, he sprained his wrist and bruised his shoulder getting hit in the school parking lot. I still have the recording. No, I'll never share it. And I really don't understand how he didn't break his neck, thank God. 2 years later, he asked me to try again and completely shattered my windshield. Answer 5. Sophomore year of high school, I got dared to piss on the bus. I didn't have to pee, so I said I would do it tomorrow. I had a whole day to come up with an excuse or just flat out say no, but instead, I drank a lot of water beforehand and made sure we sat in the last seats of the bus ride. I whipped out my thing, peed on the floor, and for about 10 seconds, it was absolutely hilarious. Then the bus driver braked and we realized that the puddle forming on the floor moved with the bus. It was soaking into the backpacks on the floor and ruining people's things. I was horrified. Of course, every person on the bus knew it was me, so everyone who was able to tattled on me, and rightfully so. This was the only time I got in major trouble at school and had to do a week of in-school suspension, plus clean some buses at the depot after school. Answer 6. My wife and I were subletting a place for summer break back in college and played truth or dare with our temporary roommate and her boyfriend. We were all absolutely smashed. I got dared to let roomie's boyfriend text whatever he wanted to someone in my contact list. Somehow, I actually said yes. He texted someone, then deleted the text, so I had no idea what he said or to whom. I woke up the next day, hungover as hell, and find a text from my ex-girlfriend that just said, "What?" I didn't even remember the dare at that moment. The night before was pretty hazy and I didn't give it much thought. Apparently, the guy found the first female name in my contacts and texted, "I love you." Answer 7th, 9th grade. Standard hormonal teens just doing dumb teen. Kiss him, touch her boob, flash us for 2 seconds, slap his ass, etc. One of the girls decides to just go all in and dares one of the more wild guys to fuck his water bottle. He says, sure, if they can get him hard. Girls flash him. Naturally, he gets hard, with his soft dick already in the water bottle. He begins to try to fuck it and finds it stuck. The girls think it's funny. The guys understand the severity of the situation. He begins to sob, like hysterical, "Are they going to have to cut my dick off?" Sobbing. This was pre-cell days. Barely. So I ran to the nearest classroom because, of course, this was happening on school grounds, explained to a teacher what was going on. 911 was called. Lots of people got suspended. Me and one other kid dodged a bullet by being the responsible ones by running for help, so we didn't get in any trouble. But his dick stayed attached and he immediately changed from one of the school fuck-arounds to an incredibly devout churchgoer. Answer 8. So not exactly a game of truth or dare, but used to work in commercial diving. And one day we had a job at a sewage treatment plant. Sure enough, diving in, who? Well, me, civilian, by Buddy, Marine, and our other co-worker, Navy, former buds, medically discharged from being injured. We're trying to figure out who was diving and who was tending. Me and my Marine buddy definitely didn't want to dive in sewage, and Bud's guy still very much had that sort of headstrong macho personality. So we go up to him and say, "Hey, guy, bet you're too much of a bitch to dive in that shit." To which he responded, "Fuck you guys, I'll dive in that shit." And he did. Guess he showed us LOL. Hey you, if you enjoying the video, subscribe for more histories. Answer 9. Finally, a place to share my story. A friend of mine in high school was doing a medic volunteering program, and they have just practiced taking blood. He would walk around school with equipment taking blood, asking if anyone would volunteer to allow him to practice. Of course, everyone declined. One day we play a truth or dare game in school and someone dares me to allow him to take blood from me. I agree. He connected the little tube thing, but as blood started flowing out, he freaked out and couldn't close some cap that he needed. I freaked out and started running around the school with blood coming out of me, and I yanked the tube from my arm. Teenagers have no sense of logic. Answer 10 friends and I were playing poker. If you lose a hand, you take a truth or dare. I ended up losing my hand after going all in and took a dare. As extra punishment for the crushing loss, I had to eat one of my friend's very hot homegrown chilies, get naked, and run 2 blocks down to the nearby grass oval, do a lap there, and run back up into his apartment. The nude part was fine since it was late at night and only a few cars passed. The worst part was actually running after eating such a spicy chili. Each breath I took while running was fucking hell because of how much it burned. Like fanning a fire to get it roaring hot. I was jogging, tears in my eyes, one hand holding my cock, the other wiping my tears away, all while crying. Never doing that again. Answer 11. I went to Catholic school for high school. I grew up in the hood and was not at all like the kids that went there. I played football and was good enough to where the quarterback liked me. He invited me to a party he was having. This is freshman year, by the way. He said it was a farm party. My dumbass showed up in overalls and boots. Dude, when I tell you I saw more drugs in this kid's house than Charlie Sheen's urine test. It was a PHARM party. Pharmacy party. Kids brought drugs from home, parents' prescriptions and shit. One kid there dared one of the cheerleaders to down some random-ass pills with vodka. I dipped out of there so fast right then and there. I wanted no part of that shit. I've seen what being an accomplice can do to a person's future. Apparently, she jumped on the poker table, stripped naked, and collapsed. She went to the ER. Shocker, right? She got her stomach pumped, came back to school a week later or so later, and just acted like it was a normal Monday. Rich white kids are a different breed. Answer 12. I was 23 at the time and at a party some other college-age guys set up. They got this deck of dares, and this guy pulls the strip and run outside card. By the way, it's minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 28 degrees Celsius out there. So he gets up, immediately sheds his clothes, runs outside, and sticks his fucking dick to the window. Of course, there's some metal bits on the window because it's kinda old. Yes, his dick stuck to a metal piece. I've never thought about the how, nor do I want to know, but that was kind of a funny call to 911 after we got some blankets on him as he was stuck outside. Answer 13. In 8th grade, my friends and I dug some mysterious shriveled orange thing, we believed to be a carrot, out of the ice in the schoolyard, and I was dared to eat it. I did. It was disgusting, like gross frozen rot, and I'm pretty sure it was a really old bell pepper slice, not a carrot.
That was enough for today, Cosmonaut. I'll wait for you in the next travel.